The alchemical principle of the revelation of the method has as its chief component a clown-like grinning mockery of the victims as a show of power and macabre arrogance. When this is performed in a veiled manner, accompanied by certain occult signs and symbolic words, and elicits no meaningful response of opposition or resistance from the targets, it is one of the most efficacious techniques of psychological warfare and mind rape. This ceremonial nose-thumbing, this perverse jesting and clowning, is taken to the highest level of intensity by the truth or consequences principle, which ultimately hinges upon the issue of consent. It is one thing for the media, the police, the judiciary, and the killers themselves to commit terrible acts without our knowledge or consent. It is quite another matter, with grave repercussions in the realm of psychodrama, public ritual, and advanced mind control, when these crimes are committed with our consent. It is an ancient rule of both the moral and common law that silence connotes consent. Silence and a lack of meaningful action constitute consent in the face of these crimes. They brag to us about what they've gotten away with, and we're thrilled with it. That's our only significant response, that and the anticipation of the next thrill. That's from Secret Societies and Psychological Warfare by Michael A. Hoffmann II. I highly recommend this book. It is filled with insights. And I would like to welcome you to another edition of the Stench of Truth. And I would like to say that the reading that I've chosen by Michael Hoffmann on the revelation of the method is particularly apt now because we are living within the psychodrama that is the revelation of the method. Because the powers that be have moved to the stage where they are revealing everything to us by piling on one absurdity over another. And you can see it happening every day, in every way. We had the underwear bomber, which very well may be a total false flag patsy operation. But more importantly, in my view, is that it's ushering in more police state tactics and people, while there are those who are protesting against this, and they should be, most vigorously, there are not enough. There are not enough people who are looking at that nose thumbing and saying, we are not going to accept this. The revelation of the method is why we have to fight tooth and nail against everything. Now, I've heard it commented on my last video and before, and some other people have talked about this as well, about divesting from the large Wall Street firms, pulling your stocks and securities out of them, pulling your money out of those banks that have been taken over by them, if you have money in there. And while that may make you feel good, and it certainly can't hurt anything, it's really not going to have any effect on those banks. Because there's simply not enough money to have an effect if you pull it out. Unless everybody in the country did the same thing. And this is the problem. The vast majority of the people are just sheep. They really are. They really are. They're led by the nose, and they more or less cower down and accept the oppression that is placed upon them. But now we're in the time where they're telling us what they're doing. They're showing it to us, and it's very brazen, and it's in your face. And according to that alchemical notion of the revelation of the method, they have to do this. It's part of the entire psychodrama that they do. They have to reveal themselves. They have to say to you, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stop us? Are you going to attempt to make some sort of change? Are you going to confront us? And what we have to do, what it's vital for us to do, is to confront every single thing. We have to do that. Now, we also have this administration, and it should by no means, anybody should take my meaning that this has not been done before, because it has. But in this administration, you have it done so blatantly and so completely in your face, where you have the Treasury Secretary, who comes out of the New York Fed, which is widely regarded and widely known to be the controlling force of the entire Federal Reserve System, is the New York Fed, because it's tied directly in with the Bank of International Settlements and the IMF, World Bank, and the international bankers that own the Federal Reserve. We have the head of the New York Fed become the Treasury Secretary. He's affiliated with Goldman Sachs and Wall Street Finance. Okay? In fact, he's more than affiliated with them. He's completely in their pocket. And this is the man that runs our Treasury Department. This is an in-your-face from these people, saying, what are you going to do about it? Bernanke is another example. And the various czars, all of them holding extreme positions that they have no business holding a political office. You have John Holdren, who wants you dead and your family dead and the majority of the population dead. Sure, he denies it now, but this is his belief. The population needs to be massively reduced. And you have Cass Sunstein now, who holds the opinion that conspiracy theories need to be either stopped or taxed or infiltrated with the cognitive infiltration, which is in effect mind control. This is a way to infiltrate groups in order to change the thinking of the people in the groups. It's not even disinformation. Sure, it's a violation of your freedom of speech to try and deny you those beliefs and to speak about them, but it's a rape of your mind to have people come in and to try and retool your thinking processes. Now, it should be obvious to Cass Sunstein and anybody else who has a brain still, there is a major flaw in his argument when he says that conspiracy theories need to be either stopped, taxed, or infiltrated.